Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Right Sugar, and today we are on some Call of Duty World War II. It's been a minute since I've posted, however, there's a good reason for it. My VODs and whatnot from Mixer haven't been saving, so I haven't been able to grab them, edit them, and post them. Alongside bad comes good. Due to that, I've been able to get a really good opinion about this game, and I kind of understand the game a little more. So, fair warning, this is going to sound very fanboyish, but that's just because I have a biased opinion towards this, being that I'm very happy with the game. So, if you were to ask me on release day what I thought of the game, I would have told you that this was the worst Call of Duty of all time, and that they need to put it back into testing and give us something better, because this was unacceptable. Now, the only real reason for that is because the launch was the worst launch I've ever seen for a Call of Duty. Getting on the servers was damn near impossible, whether it be because the servers were down half the time, or because, for some reason, loading into headquarters took 10 minutes. Now, it still has its issues, like the whole spectating glitch, where as soon as you spawn in, you're just spectating for about, like, 5 seconds. It's not terrible. Sometimes it can be longer. It just depends on, you know, what's going on. Just a fair warning, this is my first game of the day, so if I do really bad, please, that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. But yeah, the launch was really bad, and I wasn't having it. I kind of decided to stop playing it for a minute and go, you know, go to zombies and try that out. But even then, you know, still getting onto the online services was really difficult, due to the fact that I think it's mostly just because so many of the servers were being used up by people, because everyone, literally everyone, was trying to play this game. I could look on my friends list right now, and about half of my friends would say that they're playing CoD World War II. It's actually amazing, because, you know, you always want to see the franchise that you love do really good. And for the past 3 years, I mean, Call of Duty has not been something for people to love. Call of Duty's just kind of been like, well, you guys already know. I don't think I really have to explain it all that much. So it's really nice to get a breather, kind of. You know, we have something that we can enjoy, and we know just about everyone who plays the series is enjoying. And even people who don't play the series has a chance to love, you know. It's so great to see. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I really do like. First thing is headquarters. Originally, I thought headquarters was going to be a huge detriment to the game, being that at first, spawning into the headquarters took forever. I remember first day I tried to spawn into headquarters, and it took me roughly about 10 minutes. Now it takes about 5 to 10 seconds, and I think that that's the way that it's going to stay. But originally, I thought it was a terrible idea, because these were GTA load screens. Like, that's how long and disastrous they were. It was actually, it was terrible. But I'm glad to see that it's, you know, it's to the point to where it should be. Spawning into headquarters takes less long than spawning into a match. So, you know, that's a really good thing. I really like the contracts. I gotta say that was a huge thing for them to add, just based off, like, straight from the game. They basically went the Black Ops 1 route, because for the last couple of Call of Duties, they haven't had contracts just in the game. Contracts have been kind of something that come later when all the DLC is out, and it's just a little something extra for you to try to complete. So far, the extra weaponry and things like that in this game have been cosmetic only, which odds are we shouldn't expect it to be that way for the rest of the year. I do think it's going to change. However, currently, it's very well played out. If they want to add DLC weapons, by all means, they can do whatever they want. That's totally fine with me. However, if they change it up in any way by making it luck-based instead of, you know, opening a supply drop, getting, you know, credits towards getting it unlocked, it's not going to be very reliable, and it's not going to be easy by any means. Getting duplicates and getting some sort of credits for those duplicates, and then being able to purchase whatever it is that you want with those credits, is a very reliable system. It's not totally luck-based. I remember back in MWR, I was able to get many of the weapons that I wanted to get just by opening a few supply drops. 5 to 10 would get me whatever it is that I was looking for. If for some reason they decide to make it so that you cannot open these up with some kind of, you know, credits or anything like that, the entire thing is just going to fall, and it's just going to be another Black Ops 3 duplicate, or Advanced Warfare duplicate, which is not something that I'm trying to see. So we've gone over headquarters, and we've also gone over supply drops. The very last thing that I want to talk about is the maps. The maps are very, very, very well thought out. They've listened to the community and they've done exactly what we told them that they should do. And if you're not too positive of what I'm talking about, what I mean is, you know, many Call of Duties have had small, medium, and large maps. In this game, there's one large map. It's Canyon something. It's my least favorite map out of all of them. It is my least favorite map. I actually dislike that map so much. And then the rest are small maps. Flak Tower is a really, really good map to think of, just kind of off the bat. This map is one of my favorites for sure. There's so many just gems when it comes to maps in this game, just because they're all really, really good sizes. They play very, very well. The spawns are nice. I haven't seen too much spawn trapping just yet, and I have about 24 hours of playtime so far. So I would definitely say that this game, in my book, is really, really well done. I can't stress that enough. I don't know how else to say it. It's just, they couldn't have done a better job if they tried. A lot of the guns feel really, really good as well. Originally, when the beta came out, I felt kind of sad that the C96 was going to be a machine pistol. I wanted it to be semi-automatic to kind of portray its original variant, until I did a little bit of more research and I found out that there were some versions of the C96 that were fully automatic. They were rare to find. They weren't just all, you know, scattered across the German army or anything like that, but, you know, every once in a while you could find one. And that was... Once I found that out, you know, it made it a little bit more acceptable. However, I'm still kind of having a hard time accepting it as the true C96. However, I think that that's the reason why it's called the machine pistol and not the C96. Speaking of which, these camos, or skins, or whatever you want to call them, they're brilliant. I love the way they look. Anytime I'm opening a supply drop and I get one of them, I'm actually happy. It's so weird, and they kind of took the CSGO route, because a lot of people don't realize this. It took me a little bit of realizing, but there's actually variations to them. There's factory new, there's battle worn, things like that. So here's a good example. There's the original helmet, which is kind of a dirty gold. You know, it still looks good, but it's not as good as you'd like it to. And then there's my version, which is a heroic. It is the Helmet 2. So there's a prime difference between the Helmet and the Helmet 2, being that the Helmet is first off an epic, and the Helmet 2 is a heroic. And the reason why it's a huge difference is because one looks dirty, that's battle worn. One looks shiny, gold, fresh as fuck. It's factory new. It's a great way of doing things. I am in love with the system. I really am, because that is a CS:GO way of doing things. Obviously, you know, in CS:GO, things that are battle worn are going to cost are going to be a little less money. Meanwhile, things that are factory new are going to be worth a lot more. And the really cool thing about that is that nobody wants a battle worn helmet. You know what I mean? Like, I would much rather get a heroic helmet 2 than get an epic helmet, you know, because the epic helmet, while it's cool that I have it and all, and it's probably going to help me unlock a couple of other stuff, you know, it's still got that dirty vibe to it. And because this is CoD World War II, they can get away with it, and it still looks really, really cool because it's CoD World War II, and you would expect your things to look nasty. Still, there's no denying that the difference between a dirty helmet and helmet 2 is it's undeniable that it's just a massive upgrade, and it just by far looks way much better. I'm in love with the helmet too. I am really, really happy with the fact that they have factory new and battle worn and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that they continue that and that they don't just kind of leave it out. So for me, this year's Call of Duty has been nothing less than amazing. I couldn't have predicted how well this game would do, being that the last couple have been, you know, not the best. Black Ops 3 definitely being the thing that outshined everything else, but that's just because it was made by Treyarch, so of course it was going to be a good game. The last boots on the ground game that we had was Ghost. Black Ops 2 was behind it, being one of the best Call of Duties ever in the franchise, Ghost being probably the second worst right behind Infinite Warfare. So I figured, you know, another boots on the ground game is probably not going to go by too well with the community. But because we've had 3 years now of exosuits, I feel like it's a bit of a refresher, not to mention the added features like headquarters and the supply drop variants, and just about everything that they've added to the game has given it a new vibe that has turned a boots on the ground Call of Duty into one of the greatest things I've played in 4 or 5 so years. It's awesome. I'm really happy with the way this year's Call of Duty turned out, and I hope that the cycles following it, you know, being Treyarch and then Infinity Ward and all that, I hope they follow these footsteps. I want headquarters in the next Call of Duty. I want just about everything besides probably divisions. I haven't talked too much about the bad in this video, but that's just because I'm trying to keep it as positive as possible. The divisions, while they're not really limited, the divisions are fine and everything. It can cause you to not be able to use the things that you'd like to. If you guys enjoyed this year's Call of Duty, please do let me know. I'm having a great time. I'm so happy with this year's COD. I'm really well impressed, especially coming from Sledgehammer. You know, they're kind of the people of innovation currently. They brought out Advanced Warfare, the first ever Call of Duty game to have exosuits, and that being, it was the least subtle exosuit they could have brought. It was jolty as fuck, and it just kind of launched you everywhere. Black Ops 3 was able to tone it down a little bit, and then Infinite Warfare followed in their footsteps. Now Sledgehammer's back at it again with World War II, and it's boots on the ground. Maybe Call of Duty Black Ops 4, maybe? I don't know. Maybe Treyarch will be able to follow up with something that will fix some of the bugs that this game might have by making it, you know, making the created class, you know, a pick 10 feature instead of divisions and basic trainings and all that. And maybe we can just, you know, maybe Call of Duty now will be the third generation. The first generation being boots on the ground. The second generation would be, you know, exosuits, and the third generation would be a much more finer touched and detailed boots on the ground. That's what I'm hoping for, and that's what I'm in love with right now. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. This is great to make. I haven't really gotten to make any kind of video talking about my feelings about, you know, this game, just because my VODs and all that have been really disruptive. Yeah, not much else to say. I'm impressed. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.
Ooh, yeah, love on, ooh, love on, yeah, love on, ooh, love on, yeah, love on, ooh, love on, yeah, love on, ooh. Okay.